welcome to The Explainer. If you're a health or wellness coach, you already know how tough it is to get noticed online. So today, we're going to dive into a pretty powerful new strategy to change all that, AI-driven SEO. You've got the expertise, right? You have the passion. But let's be real, in this super crowded online market, it can totally feel like you're just shouting into the void. Trying to stand out from all those influencers and experts, it's a huge challenge. So let's tackle that head on. And yeah, this is exactly why it's so tough. The global wellness industry, it's valued at a staggering $5.6 trillion. Now, on one hand, that means there's a massive opportunity here. But on the other hand, it means the competition is just incredibly fierce. All right, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to start by looking at just how crowded this wellness space is. Then we'll introduce the solution, AI SEO. After that, we'll compare the old way versus the new. I'll give you a step-by-step playbook, and we'll wrap up by looking at what all this means for the future of your business. Sound good? Okay, let's start with the simple, kind of scary reality. A full 90% of your potential clients are online researching wellness services before they even think about booking. So if you're not showing up in those search results, you're pretty much invisible. Now, for years, the answer to this has always been SEO, right? Search engine optimization. But the old way of doing things, manually digging for keywords, writing blog posts, and then just waiting for months to see if they even rank, it's just too slow for today's world. There is a faster, way smarter way to connect with your audience. And that, of course, brings us to the solution, AI SEO. And hey, don't think of this as some complex, scary tech. Seriously. A better way to picture it is like having a brilliant, tireless assistant for all your marketing. So what is it exactly? Well, at its core, AI SEO is all about using artificial intelligence to do the heavy lifting of optimization for you. It crunches the data, it automates tasks, and it gets your website and your content seen by the right people way more effectively than the old-school methods ever could. Okay, and this is where it gets really practical. For a health coach, this isn't just some abstract theory. This means you can find the exact hyper-specific phrases your ideal clients are typing into Google. Think something like holistic remedies for burnout and tech workers, not just stress relief. You can also spot weaknesses in what your competition is doing and generate endless ideas for content that people will actually see. All right, so this is where the true power of this shift becomes crystal clear. When you put the old and new methods side by side, the difference is, it's night and day. But before we get into the nitty-gritty comparison, check out this real-world result. There was this one nutrition consultant who felt totally stuck, creating all this great content that just no one was seeing. After she switched to an AI-driven strategy, she found all these amazing keywords her competitors were completely ignoring, and she tripled her website traffic in just 90 days. And this really shows you why she saw such dramatic results. Just look at the difference here. What used to be manual, time-sucking keyword research, now it's automated and totally data-driven. That generic content you're writing, it becomes hyper-optimized for what people are actually looking for. And competitor analysis that used to take hours and multiple tools, AI can do it in seconds. It is a complete and total game changer. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? Right? Well, let's make this really tangible with a clear, actionable plan you can literally start using today. Think of this 4-step process as your roadmap. It's pretty simple, actually. It all starts with knowing exactly who you're talking to. Then, use AI tools to find the exact phrases they're searching for. From there, use AI to help you create content that speaks directly to their needs. And finally, and this is key, you keep tracking and refining. It's a cycle of continuous improvement. And hey, this doesn't mean you have to constantly be creating brand new content from scratch, not at all. Here's a really powerful quick win. Take one of your existing blog posts, one you already wrote, use an AI tool to turn it into a YouTube script, a bunch of Instagram captions, and an email newsletter. Boom! You've just multiplied your impact with a tiny fraction of the effort. All right, to wrap things up, let's address some of the common questions and doubts that always seem to come up. Because this isn't some sci-fi, far-off future technology. It's here, right now, and believe me, it's way more accessible than you probably think. There's this common myth that this kind of stuff is only for big corporations with huge budgets and big teams. But in reality, it's kind of the opposite. AI SEO is a powerful equalizer. It gives solo coaches and independent consultants the kind of analytical power that, until now, was pretty much only available to massive marketing teams. And then there's the big question. What about your job? Is AI here to replace you? Let me be clear, absolutely not. Look, AI brings the speed and the data processing, but you bring the strategy, the empathy, and that real human understanding of your client's needs. The goal here isn't replacement, it's enhancement.
And maybe the most compelling part of all, you don't have to wait a year to see if any of this is actually working. Now, of course, every situation is a little different, but with a focused AI SEO strategy, you can start seeing real, measurable improvements in as little as 4 to 6 weeks. That's fast.
So let's recap. AI SEO is faster, it's smarter, and it really does level the playing field for independent pros like you. It gives you the power to create content that doesn't just rank on Google, but that truly resonates with your ideal clients. So the real question I want to leave you with is this. What could that kind of targeted visibility, getting in front of the right people at the right time, do for the future of your practice?